Oxford is one of the most magical and iconic cities in England, known for its history, beautiful colleges and stories that have shaped literature for centuries. In this video, we're showing you what to see, why it matters, and how to experience 18 of the best things to do in Oxford. We've planned it so you can do all of it in a single day without having to rush from place to place. If you're planning your first trip to Oxford, this is the guide we wish we had watched before visiting. There's no better place to start than Radcliffe Square. Radcliffe Square is the geographic and symbolic heart of Oxford, where some of the university's most important buildings come together. At its center sits the Radcliffe Camera, completed in 1749 as a science library funded by John Radcliffe, a prominent physician. Its distinctive circular design is recognized around the world and has been used as a filming location for productions including Harry Potter, The Theory of Everything, among many others. Today, it functions as a quiet reading room for the Bodleian Library and is used almost exclusively by students. It's not open to the public unless you book a guided tour of the Divinity School, which may include a visit to the Radcliffe Camera. So if going inside is important to you, tickets start at £22.50 and you will need to book in advance. Surrounding the square are several historic colleges, including one of the oldest colleges in Oxford, All Souls College. Unlike other Oxford colleges, this is the only one without student members. It exists as a focused research community with only senior fellows as its members. We'll actually be able to go inside later in this video. It's only open to visitors on certain hours and days, so I can't wait to show you guys what it's like inside. Standing next to the Radcliffe Camera is already quite impressive, but just steps away is the University Church of St. Mary the Virgin. This church has witnessed the foundation of the University of Oxford and some of the most significant events in English church history. It's also where you will find one of the best viewpoints in the city, offering 360-degree panoramic views of central Oxford for only £6.
And 127 steps after, these are the views.
From the top, the views of Oxford are breathtaking. You can really appreciate why this historic city, holding the world's second oldest university established in the 12th century, is so famous. It also makes it clear to see how compact Oxford is. The narrow streets, college quads, and church spires reflect a medieval layout that's largely unchanged.
These views are incredible and totally worth a workout.
As we walked down, we visited the interior of the church, a space that historically held meetings, lectures, and ceremonies before dedicated university buildings existed. Today, it remains an active church welcoming both worshippers and visitors. Right next to the church is one of Oxford's smallest details, but also one of the most famous. The Narnia Door. It's a small wooden door featuring a lion's head and two fawns. This location, along with the nearby gaslit lamppost, is widely believed to have inspired C.S. Lewis, who taught at Magdalen College in Oxford, to write the Chronicles of Narnia. This is the Bodleian Library, one of the oldest libraries in Europe, which holds some of the most important works in British history, like Shakespeare's First Solo and Magna Carta copies. It's been featured in countless films, including Harry Potter, and has been walked by many successful writers, scholars, and politicians over the centuries. Many interior spaces can only be seen on guided tours, which are well worth considering. You can take tours of the Bodleian Library that include the Radcliffe Camera and the Duke Humphreys Library. Tours start from £13, but even if you don't go inside, walking around the exterior and courtyards is a must. When we visited, there were graduation ceremonies taking place, so many areas were closed to the public. Do bear this in mind when planning your trip.
What many people don't realise is that behind the bridge is the narrowest passage in Oxford, which leads to a pub. We've actually created a Google Maps list with over 100 locations in Oxford, and just with one click you can get instant access to pubs, cafes, landmarks and so much more. For less than the price of a coffee, it's an investment that will make your day in Oxford so much easier. We've linked it in the description. Oh, so hot.
Built in the 17th century, the Sheldonian Theatre is vital as the primary ceremonial hall for the University of Oxford, hosting graduations and matriculations for over 350 years. Outside, you'll notice 17 carved heads known as the Herms. Despite the name, it's not actually known who these figures represent, adding a touch of mystery to the facade. The interiors are just as impressive. For £8, you can freely visit the auditorium, the old printing loft, and even climb the cupola for great city views. The Oxford University Natural History Museum, a free museum just a 7-minute walk from the Sheldonian Theatre. The museum is home to unique treasures like the world's only soft tissue remains of the dodo and major Middle Jurassic dinosaur fossils. Historically, this is where the famous 1860 debate on Darwin's theory of evolution took place, marking a turning point in science. And most importantly for us, it's where we had our first date. The museum isn't just about the displays, it's also a showcase of stunning neo-Gothic architecture. Our favorite area is the main hall, where the historical exhibits are beautifully combined with the grand architecture. You could easily spend a couple of hours exploring, so give yourself time to really take it all in. This is the Eagle and Child, one of the most famous pubs in Oxford, and in the 1930s it was a regular meeting spot for the Inklings, an informal literary group. In this pub, The Lord of the Rings and the Chronicles of Narnia were discussed before they were released.
Unfortunately, it's currently closed, but the good news for people planning a new trip to Oxford is that it will reopen in 2027.
Another important and worth visiting museum in Oxford is the Ashmolean Museum. It's the UK's oldest public museum, offering free entry to extensive collections spanning archaeology, art, and antiques from thousands of years ago to the modern day. The museum is pretty big, so to make sure you make the most of your time, you can plan your visit with the tours and trails on the Ashmolean website. They even have some family fun activities that will guaranteed enhance your visit. A hidden gem inside the museum is the Rooftop Cafe. An amazing place, especially in good weather, to have a snack, lunch, or even afternoon tea with views over Oxford's rooftops. Right across the street is the reason why this channel exists. Our first video ever was recorded reviewing the Randolph Hotel, one of the most prestigious hotels in the whole of Oxford. After a break with a view, we headed back to the main streets of Oxford. Not just where tourists roam, but where locals spend most of their time. Broad Street was originally built outside the medieval city walls, but today it sits right in the heart of Oxford. It's a beautiful walk, passing historic architecture, renowned bookshops, and key University of Oxford colleges and landmarks, including Trinity College and Balliol College, the oldest college in Oxford, founded in the 13th century. You can tour Balliol College for £6, which is genuinely worth it. The visit includes the gardens, chapel, and hall, giving you a real insight into college life. Opposite Balliol College, you will notice a simple granite cross set into the road. It marks the spot where Protestant martyrs Hugh Latimer, Nicholas Ridley, and Thomas Cranmer were burned at the stake in 1555 and 1556 during the Marian persecutions. In recent years, Broad Street has been transformed with planters and seating areas, making it a more welcoming public space. And every year it becomes home to Oxford's Christmas market. If you keep walking straight, you will find yourself surrounded by endless food options in George Street, including the Gloucester Green Outdoor Market, which operates on Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Here, you will find incredible food options at great affordable prices. Parallel to Broad Street is Oxford's High Street, probably one of the most beautiful high streets in England, because it has preserved its historic facades which blend beautifully with newer buildings. Walking along the High Street, you pass centuries of architecture. Colleges, churches, independent shops and cafes, all combining medieval, Tudor and Georgian styles into one continuous view. It's not just impressive historically, but it's also one of the liveliest parts of the city. On the west end of the High Street is Carfax, considered the historic centre of Oxford. The name comes from the French carrefour, meaning crossroads, and this has been the city's main intersection since medieval times. Carfax Tower is all that remains of the 13th century St. Martin's Church, which once stood here before most of it was demolished in the 19th century. On the east end of the High Street is Magdalen College, one of the largest and most academically prestigious colleges in Oxford. Architecturally, it's also incredible. Its Great Tower is one of the most recognizable landmarks in the city, and every 1st of May at 6 a.m. a choir sings from the top of the tower to welcome the new season, a tradition that dates back over 500 years. This is also the college where C.S. Lewis, author of the Chronicles of Narnia, taught English for nearly 3 decades. It is open to visitors and you can enter for £10, which is a great opportunity to see the cloisters, chapel and gardens. But if it is closed on the day you visit, simply seeing it from the outside is a magical moment that will make your time in Oxford even more special.
Right next to Magdalen College is Magdalen Bridge, where we can see the River Cherwell, and one of Oxford's most famous activities, punting.
Walking down this ramp, you can rent a punt and glide along the River Cherwell, passing college gardens, willow trees, and open greenery. It's surprisingly affordable, £35 per hour for a boat of up to 5 people if you want to punt for yourselves. Or if you'd rather relax, you can hire a chauffeur to do the hard work while you just sit back and enjoy the views.
We won't be doing it today because it is closed. And this is actually where Cara and I had one of our first dates, which was one of the most fun things we've ever done together.
Just off the High Street and a few steps from the Radcliffe Camera is All Souls College, and it's unlike any other college in Oxford. There are no undergraduate students here. All members are senior fellows and researchers, making it a hub for pure scholarship. Its quadrangles are quiet and beautifully maintained, giving a sense of calm in the heart of the city. Unlike many Oxford colleges, entry is free, so you can explore the courtyards and cloisters without booking anything in advance, though we do recommend checking the website in case there are any changes. The architecture is a mix of medieval and neoclassical styles, and the front gates open onto Radcliffe Square, making it one of the most photogenic corners of Oxford.
It's my first time inside an Oxford college, and somehow it's everything I imagined, but so much better up close.
Alongside Magdalen College, Christ Church is one of the largest and most famous colleges in Oxford. Christ Church is unique because it is both a college and a cathedral for the Diocese of Oxford, making it the only college in the university to have a cathedral as its chapel. The college has produced 13 British Prime Ministers, including William Gladstone, as well as countless judges, writers, and scholars. Architecturally, it combines medieval Tudor and Baroque elements, with the Tom Tower and the Great Quadrangle the biggest in Oxford. Christ Church also has a strong literary connection. Lewis Carroll was inspired here to write Alice in Wonderland. Many spots around the cathedral and the meadows nearby are said to have inspired Alice's adventures. The Christ Church dining hall also inspired the Great Hall in Harry Potter, and there's a stone staircase that was actually used in the movies. Self-guided tours start at £21, and if you enter, be on the lookout for Alice in Wonderland Easter eggs. There are references scattered throughout the college and cathedral. There's even an Alice shop right opposite the college if you want to pick up a little souvenir. I love not only how historical it is, but also how aesthetic it looks. And from here you can start a beautiful walk along the River Thames, and it's one of my favorite parts of Oxford. Back on the high street is Oxford's historical food and shopping hub, the Covered Market. It's the perfect place to grab a coffee, browse for goods, or even have dinner. From traditional English pies and pasties to international cuisine, there are options for every taste. The market opened in 1774 to give local traders a permanent space to sell food, crafts, and goods, and it has retained that historic charm ever since. The interior has maintained that same vibe with narrow aisles where it's easy to get lost in the best way possible. If you're planning a trip here, we hope you found this video useful. Please give it a like, subscribe for more travel guides like this, and we'll link below our Oxford Google Maps and planning resources.